So my HW45, just gonna change out the main seal. The reason for that, I'll get into it once I pull the old one out. I'll show you why I'm changing it. It still fires, but being a bit, I don't know what's the word, type A, anal, OCD about things. I'll show you why I'm changing it. They're not hard to strip. Getting the spring out to get to the piston, getting the piston out, that can be a pain in the ass. But so when we get to it, I'll show you. Great little gun, nice and heavy, plenty of reviews out there on them. Weihrauch HW45. So let's go. You could actually leave one of these on if you chose to, but for the sake of 2 screws, can't damage them if they're not there. Importante. Okay, take note of this. See this thing? This is the safety cocking, the bear trap. Okay, so it's pushed down here. I don't know if you can see that, but before we go any further, lock it down. I don't know if you can see there's a little hole. Right, where's me pointing stick? You'll do. Yeah, there's a little hole here. Okay. What we're going to do with that is take, and you can use pretty much anything, paper clip, R-clip, anything you got at hand that fits through the hole. See? Just a little R-clip. Okay. Just make sure we do that and it stays there till we're done. Okay. And the reason for that is once you take the gubbins out, if that's not pinned back, it shoots forward and your sears will spin around, and it just keeps all your sears and your trigger gear locked in position. Like I say, it was checked, it is empty. Right. So now we've done that, pop that off. First job is to take this fella out, and we do that with a little $2 mil, I think it is. Hey, I'm right. Makes a change. That just locks in that pin. Don't have to take it out, just loosen it off plenty. You can do this with it locked down, okay, but it puts pressure on that pin. So just take the pressure off. That's it. See, it'll just push out. Put it somewhere safe. Once that's off, your cocking arms here, it'll come up like that. Bring it back. It's a little fiddly in there. Now you see them that they're hooked. They just hook in there. That's it. Barrel's off. If you're changing the barrel for some reason, these two and that one, that's it. You can get it out. Don't need to worry about that. We're not doing that. That's a 2.5 mil. This fella, this screw here, I believe 2.5, is it? I want to say maybe 3. Yeah, 2.5. So that one can be quite tight. Assuming this is all in shot, just in case it's not. That one. that? Yep, grease everywhere. No need to touch this one. Just hold to the. So next is this guy here. This one's actually quite tight. You're going to have to tap him out with a drift and a little hammer. Give it a shot. It's the same diameter as the front one, just a little longer. Okay, so big one back. There you go. Pretty simple. It's only two of them. If you can't remember it, you probably shouldn't be pulling things apart. Anyway, that's that. This thing will actually almost drop out now. See, that further out. Now, like I say, if this pin wasn't in, this comes up, it catches your sears. Yeah, they spin around, and then you spend hours trying to figure out how to put them back together. Okay, so that's that done. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Now, let me clean that off. There was too much grease on there, didn't need all that on there. Okay, so you really do need some kind of press to get these off. All it is this pin here. Take that out and releases the spring pressure. I have a wood clamp that I can use. It's not one of the grippy ones. I'll show you. I have other clamps that work better for other guns, but this thing works really well. Just this type. Make sure it's wound just about all the way in. You just need a little bit of extra to take the pressure off, because you're going to need all of this, because that's how much this spring is pre-compressed. Be careful of this fella. Sit it on the top. Actually, let's do it. Get that off. We don't need that. Okay. I do clamp this in a vise to do it, which I'm going to do. It's just over there. It'll be off shot, but when you do it, get out of a rag, anything, and keep it like that. As you unwind it, after you've taken, you put a little bit of pressure in, knock the pin out. Pin's sideways. That's where the screw goes in to hold it into there. Okay, a little bit of pressure, take the pressure off the end cap, knock that pin out, wind it back. But when you do, as soon as the end cap comes out, about this far, then it's basically on that spring, and this will up, down, shoot, and the end cap will go flying. Because like I say, you've got it all the way back here, and there's still a little bit of pressure on it. This is not the best way to do it, but it works for me. And if you're doing this all the time, I'd make a proper compressor for it like I have the others. But anywho, get it lined up. Put that little bit of pressure on there. like I say, then you can wind this off. Actually, I'll try and do it so you can see it, but normally I would do this in a vise. So, in fact, let's do it without it. So just wind it slowly. As you can see, the end cap's about to come free. At that point, this likes to bounce up and down because it's just a free spring. So I've got hold of it on this hand, hopefully. See, it wants to go down. See it spinning around? Jumping about. Why is it so much easier in the vise? I'll be putting it back together in the vise, that's for sure. See how it's wanting to jump? See, and that's how much it compresses. But I mean, this little bit's easy to get in. So, but like I say, putting it back exactly opposite to that. But I'll be doing that in the vise. Trying to keep a hold of that. See, that's that. Bit of shear on there. Don't lose the end cap. Don't lose the pin. So, if you get one of the, what's those? Tin bum kits, tuning kits. You get rid of this metal one, and he supplies a plastic one, and another plastic. I say plastic, some kind of polymer. Plastic for this end, which actually would make that going in easier. And now it's apart, I've got some rod. I might actually turn down a couple on the lathe to see if I can replace that. I might not. I might just measure it and then see about turning them. Anywho, there's your spring. The bit we're after is the piston. And the reason we're changing it, I'll show you. Be careful you don't gouge anything. See, that's most of the way out. There you go. See, there's the seal there. Okay. The reason I'm changing it is I've already fixed it, but here, I don't know if you can see in there. Let me see if I can get a better light on that. Oh, that's nasty. And that's not going to work. Bang in that. But, anywho, anyway, the inside of these two rails here, when they were machined, there was a couple of burrs just on the end here, quite substantial ones, and you could feel them. And I don't know, can you see it? Those two burrs, see how they match up? Yeah. So there's a couple of burrs on there. So with the Dremel tool and that, got in there, roughed it out with the Dremel, then fine sanded it, some wet and dry. Okay. Because, like I say, the piston has to go past that, and it gets cut on the way. It doesn't go past that once it's being fired. I mean, it sits down here. But to install it, yeah. So that's been like that since day one. Because unless they manage to get that in somehow, which I doubt. Okay, so that's why we're changing it. It's that simple. So all you've got to do, take this one off, put this one on, reverse the process. Getting it off, not as easy as it looks. I've actually I've got a kettle over here. I'm going to boil up some water, get this nice hot and soft. So you don't need to watch that. I know there are some aftermarket ones now you can get. They're called parachute type with the slot in it, like the hats you use. So yeah, too much water. Oh no, I've got chemicals in there. A little bit soapy. Don't worry, I don't drink from this kettle. Set it in some hot water. Okay. Set it in some hot water. A few minutes. Softens it up quite a bit. Fuck, it's hot. You can do it without the water, but yeah, why make life hard? It's just hot water. That's that done. If you worry about using water on the steel and it'll rust, it's like, trust me, it's hot enough. There'll be no water left on that in a sec. These things are hard. Gives me hot water. Give them a few minutes in there. Doesn't take long. I'm saying you probably push it on without it, but hey, better living through physics and chemistry, I suppose. Right. In. Okay. Yeah, it does float on it. Oh, it looks prettier, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll put a little bit of silicone grease on it, just. A little silicone grease. No burrs, slides in a treat. Yeah. Try and keep these lined up. There you go. That's it. Now, like I said, I'll do this off camera. So, there it is, back in. Didn't knock through. Them evened up. So that's it. time to put it back together. So nothing overly crazy about it. Complete reverse. This is a notch. This is a bear trap mechanism. Just drops straight in beautifully. Really want it straight. There it is. Till it's straight because the holes line up. The long pin, remember. What have I not lined up? Down there's too soft, so get it evened up. There you go, nice and even. I had my head in the way then, didn't I? This can come out now if you want. Okay. Getting these a little bit, not really fiddly, but make sure they're both in. There you go. So make sure they're both in. It's easy to actually get one not in. Again, it's easier to put this front pin back in before you lock the top down. It's nice and loose. Lock it down. Get it nice and even. There's a 2mm. You're just pinching it up, no need to lever on it. Just snug it. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you're aware with you can dry fire it like this, like practice fire. Don't cock it, don't move it on the spring at all. Just open the top cover and put it back down and that will set the trigger. So that'll work. Now you put the cover back on. Put the grips back on. Of course, fumbling about like an old man here. Again, don't over tighten things, there's no need. Especially on the grips, I mean, they are wood. That, my friends, is it. Not a big job at all. Nothing fancy. So, I mean, all done with a screwdriver, pointing tool, little hammer, a drift pin, a couple of Allen wrenches, and the clamp itself. You see, and I guess we'll put it on the crony and see if it fires any better. But I'm not going to show you that because there's plenty of them on the web. People showing you that they can shoot down targets. There you go, HW45, change the piston seal.